Welcome back to the Oddity Shop podcast, the podcast where we
tell you creepy, odd, weird, strange, and bizarre stories from around the globe.
I'm your curator, Kara, and this is your beautiful, wonderful, amazing, gorgeous curator.
Keep going.
I ran out. Zachary.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am doing good. I am a couple days away from a trip, and I'm very excited to go to Arizona for a week and have a day trip to Sedona and do some hiking and check out some neighborhoods that I'm possibly going to live in.
Yep. And we are, 2 days away from my hysterectomy party. Because why not celebrate even the bad things that you go through?
I love it. I'm so glad that you're doing that. I think you're going to love my hysterectomy party gift that I got you.
I like that you got me a gift. I didn't expect a gift.
The thing is, though, is like, I know you are such gift giving is like your love language.
I do love that.
And you always have a gift for me for everything. So I'm like, I can't show up to a hysterectomy party empty handed.
Well, I appreciate that. You also have a gift when you're here because it's going to be your birthday a few days after.
It doesn't matter if it's my birthday or not. Every time I come to your house, there's a gift.
I do have something
on my bed. So
that's true. Oh, and you know what's so sad? And then we need to like wrap this up. But what's really sad is that I started thinking about and like looking at pieces and stuff to redo your bedroom, and you're leaving me.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
I'll still use it. I'm going to need it more than ever when I come back to visit.
Well, that is true. So it's going to be better.
Yeah, there we go. All right. We ready for some shop talk before we open the doors for the day?
Oh, you know what? I'm so sorry. I have one really quick thing that I have started listening to. And her name is Layla. And I think it's Hormozy is how you say her last name. And she's like a, not an influencer. Oh my God. I can't think of what the word is. Whatever. She's absolutely amazing. So her and her husband have like multi-million-dollar companies. Okay. But they started from like nothing, like drugs, DUIs,
started from the bottom,
arrested 6 times, like crazy stuff. Right. They were like crazy. So they have a whole company that teaches million-dollar companies how to get better or how to get your company better. But she is like so amazing and so smart how she learned how to do everything. And so she does do workshops and things like that. But she has a podcast. And it's really great because it's only like 15 to 20 minute little episodes, but it's just like her mindset and the things that she says and like how, and it's like, you don't have to have a business though to listen to these things because even in like my daily life or when I was doing stuff for the podcast, I started going back to things that she said. Like, I think it's MIT. She's like, what's my MIT most important task? So what's my MIT? Like just stuff like that, like just little things, but they're quick little episodes. And it's like so inspiring. I am going to look it up right now. But she also, you could just watch her, like her reels and TikToks are the same. It's called Build.
Okay.
By Layla Hormozy. And her husband, Alex, is amazing too. But she's coming out with a book eventually. And I cannot wait to get it. But that's my little tidbit.
I think I've heard of Alex Hormozy.
Yes. They're just, I don't know. I just love listening to both of them speak.
I kind of want to check that one out. Okay. Shop talk. You ready?
Yes. Do you have something?
What do you got? What do you got this week?
Okay,
you go first.
Yeah. All that I have for Shop Talk really is that I have been recording like little bit episodes. So whether they're Reddits or whether they're just like things that I've like articles and stuff that are just smaller episodes, I've been recording and that's full video. So that is going to go to our $10 tier Patreons, but I'm trying to give you 2 a month.
Nice.
So
she also updated a bunch of the stuff like the collections in Patreon and just kind of revamped it. So
just make it more mystical and fun and like.
I love it.
I think that's all I have.
Perfect. I have a review for you.
Give it to me.
Okay. It's called Little Odd Things, ?
Oh.
If you loved odd things, then this is the podcast to listen to. Zach and Kara are amazing podcasters and people. The amount of detail they put into each episode is great. They have many things on Bigfoot, aliens, untold military stories, and even ghost stories. So go check them out. And this is from Jugs 1977.
Jugs.
Thanks, Jugs. We appreciate you. I was trying to see if we had then, the negative YouTube. YouTube is just the place where.
Oh, do you want me to find that one?
I found another one actually.
Oh, YouTube and
I don't know.
Wily.
I don't know if this is pointed at us or the content of the episode, but this is from Elijah the Shaman, And he says, you're not going to get very far being an echo chamber of your own ego. Fear is not faith.
What episode was that from?
That was on the EA wedding. So it could go either way. But if it's at us, I kind of love that.
So I do have another negative one if we want to give us
save it for the next shop talk.
Okay, fine.
Alrighty. Are you ready to open the shop up for the day?
Yeah, do you have a question for me?
I do have a question for you. What is the wackiest way you have ever heard of somebody dying?
Oh, man. I can't think off the top of my head.
Okay, I'll give you one that always stuck with me. There was this show, I think it was like an FX show. It's called 1,000 Ways to Die. And they always just went over
I don't know if it was FX, but I know what you're talking about.
It might not have been FX, but it was like one of those shows.
Yeah.
Or channels. But there was this one where like this couple was getting kinky.
Mm-hmm.
The guy had to leave for some reason, like not leave for a long time, but he left her while she was handcuffed to the bed.
Oh.
But it was a water bed and she was wearing stilettos. And it punctured the water bed and she drowned because she couldn't get off the bed because she was handcuffed to it. That one always stuck with me. It's just like, what a horrible way to go.
Okay, so you just brought a memory, and it's not a memory. I think about this actually almost like as a daily thing, but it's from that show. So there was a guy that grabbed a fresh thing of toilet paper.
Yeah.
Or paper towel was one of those, right? And so to replace it. But there was from shipping, like manufacturing, shipping, there was a poisonous spider in the tube.
I knew it was going to be a spider.
In the tube of whatever it was. And so when he reached into it, it bit his finger and he ended up dying from it. But now and I watched this probably when I was like 8 years old. Every time I replace paper towel or toilet paper, I look inside that hole first.
I do, just because I know somebody who got bit by a brown recluse and lost their pinky from like that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay. Anyways.
And this is why you also think I'm crazy that anything that ships to me clothing wise or whatever, I wash first because I don't know what's on it, what was living in it, you're like, no, it's fine. I bought it from
You also
Kohl's.
freak out if I don't like watch my straws for 5 minutes, thinking that you always think something crawled in it.
Because I've watched multiple videos and that's happened to me. A spider crawled in my straw of my water bottle. I threw the whole fucking thing out. I won't. So I'm sorry. I'm trying to help you. Let's continue on. Hey, Zach, are you running low on spiritual supplies?
Hey, Kara, are you looking for a place with handmade items?
Yeah, we should probably go to Mystic Moons.
Oh, our buddies?
Yeah.
They make the most wonderful hand-dipped incense with over 24 scents, and we've smelled absolutely every single one of them.
Yeah, or maybe you might just be looking for a hand-strung bracelet made with only the best intentions.
And not only do they have the best intentions, they have 4 strings each, and they last forever, which I would know because I've broken every bracelet you've made for me and not theirs.
Oops. Well, they also have simmer pots for every occasion, like San to Yule.
And don't forget, Melinda is also a medium and a tarot card reader who's given us amazing readings, so she's ready to help us or you connect with past loved ones and get to know insights into your world.
My spirit animal is a camel. Thanks, Melinda. Anyway, so look for Mystic Moons on Facebook or Etsy, and then you can restock all your spiritual supplies.
Oh, be sure to check them out at www.etsy.com/shop/Mystic Moons LLC.
Or at Mystic Moons on Facebook. They're all over our socials, so I'm sure you'll find them.
So go get some goodies. Okay, Kara, goodbye.
Bye.
Okay, so you know how I start things. We have no history lesson. We don't even start with a definition today. We're just jumping right into the story. I know.
I actually love this.
I know, it's just unlike me. First, though, we got to get another thank you to Joe Clausa, because they have been literally keeping me motivated on all my writing ideas. So thanks, Joe, and Melinda, but mostly Joe this time. Okay, so Mary Reeser is a 67-year-old widow, and on July 2nd, 1951, she becomes a sensational story, but not in the way you might expect. So Mary was just chilling in her chair when something happened to her, something that would create confusion, arguments, and mystery that would go on well past the time she returns to ashes, which is not long after she plopped into the chair that day, sadly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mary lived alone in a small second-story apartment at 1200 Cherry Street. She had just recently moved to be closer to her son. And I can't remember if I said this or not. This is in St. Petersburg, Florida.
Okay.
So she moved to be closer to her son because her husband had recently passed away. So she was known by her neighbors as quiet, friendly, a heavy smoker, and somebody who, for the most part, really just kind of kept to herself.
How old did you say she was? Did you?
She was 67 years old.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
So it wasn't rare for her to spend long periods of time inside her apartment, usually sitting in her favorite overstuffed armchair.
Oh.
On the evening of July 1st, her son called to check in. Okay. And Mary let him know that she had been having trouble sleeping, and she had taken 2 Seconal pills, which were super strong barbiturates that used to be prescribed to help you fall asleep.
Okay.
You were going to fall asleep, okay?
That girl.
They don't prescribe those anymore.
She'd already taken them when he called?
Yes.
Okay.
So she had also mentioned that she planned to sit in her chair and smoke a cigarette before she went to bed.
Oh, no.
This is important.
Oh,
because
no.
For some people, the cigarette is the cause. And for others, it is only something that makes the mystery more odd.
Oh, okay.
So the following morning, back to July 2nd, Pansy Carpenter, the landlady to Mary, arrives to bring her a telegram at around 8 a.m. And she is immediately alarmed because as she reaches for the doorknob was hot to the touch, which is not something a landlord ever wants to feel.
It's wild that she didn't have any other signs, just the doorknob being hot.
Oh, you think that's wild?
Whoa.
She knocked and no response comes. Okay, so her next move is to call maintenance, and they come and unlock the door. And as soon as they do, the smell hits them. It's a smell that can only be described as smoky and greasy at the same time.
Putrid.
Your favorite word.
You know.
So once they were inside, though, they saw something that police would later describe as one of the strangest causes of deaths they had ever encountered.
Oh, no.
So let's put the scene together.
Oh.
The apartment did not look disheveled like a fire had come through, which is what a lot of people are expecting with the hot doorknob.
Right.
There's no smoke damage.
Oh.
For the most part, there's no soot on the walls. Objects around the apartment are unmelted.
Oh.
But then there's the spot where the chair was.
Was.
Or had been. Yeah, it's not there anymore. The corner of the apartment, there is soot on the wall. There is some burn marks around the floor where the chair had been, but there was no chair and there was no Mary.
Okay, so the chair was like in the corner of the apartment?
Yes.
Okay. What?
No Mary, but like most of Mary. So where her chair once sat was a pile of ash. There's no burned body, no charred remains, just about 10 pounds of gray powder. And next to it, Mary's left foot, still wearing an unburnt black satin slipper, completely intact.
How is a satin slipper not burned?
On the foot, there is no burned flesh, no scorching, just a foot resting beside the pile of ashes that once had been Mary in her chair.
Is there an ankle on the foot?
I tried so hard to figure out what the end of the foot looked like, and there was not a whole lot of information on this. Okay, so
what?
Do you need to discuss before we go further? We can right now if you want.
Kind of. Okay, so the chair is completely gone. There's a little bit of soot on the corner where the chair kind of was on the wall.
Like on the walls there. Yep. Yeah. And a little burn mark on the floor.
No remnants of her except for a foot.
And a perfectly preserved
slipper. And her satin slipper.
And a 10-pound pile of ash.
Didn't.
Yes.
So the only thing I'm thinking of is like, that chair, had synthetic fibers in it, right? Like to stuff it or whatever. So that would catch on fire like nothing. But nothing else makes sense to me.
Okay, so
and why was the handle of the door hot? How far was that from the chair? Do we know?
Not very far.
This is strange. Okay, continue.
Because the door opened into the living room.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, so before we go too much further, though, a cremation usually leaves several pounds of bone and fragments, like
and then the chair?
With the ash, right? Well, no, we're not talking about anything else right now. We're talking about cremations.
Cremation, yes.
So cremations have several pounds of bones along with the ash. And this is after hours and hours at extremely high temperatures. Okay. So like you still have to crush bits of bone when you do a cremation. And that's usually about 1600 degrees. Here we just have ash. Now, they do know it was Mary because there is a tiny piece of her skull and a portion of her spine and her, intact foot. But it's not nearly the amount of bone that you would have with a normal cremation. The rest of the apartment, like we said, is untouched. Professionals estimate that for the amount of fine powder, whatever happened to Mary, she reached temperatures of 1600 degrees, which should have took the whole building down with her.
Right.
So the only other damage that allowed, and this actually allows them to clock the time of her death, there was an outlet nearby the chair that the cover was melted on, and a plastic clock near her chair that had melted enough and the time stopped at 4:20 a.m.
Hey.
Which is, there's a joke in there.
Hey, girl.
I want to say blaze it so bad, but Okay. So police and investigators take over the scene, and they note that the wall behind the chair was slightly blackened. Okay. They found the burn marks on the floor and noted the clock, right? They also noted there were newspapers sitting nearby untouched, furniture around the chair completely fine, and that there was even a cardboard box that would have been beside the chair that was still perfectly intact.
What?
So something happened to Mary's body that is hot enough to just turn bone into ash. So what the hell happened?
It sounds like, what is it called? Unexplainable combustion. What's it called?
Spontaneous human combustion. And that is the theme of our episode. Okay.
Oh, I love this.
So this is where people start to disagree, though, on the what the hell happened, right?
Well,
so
she was smoking and fell asleep.
Whatever she would have had to endure, though, to get to this state, at least 2 to 3 hours of heat, 1400 to 1800 degrees. And whatever happened to her only targeted her and the surface she was sitting on. Nothing else.
All right. That's what spontaneous combustion is.
Combustion. Yeah. So investigators don't know what to do. They bring in the FBI for help. And it goes back to the cigarette, right? So here's the FBI's theory. She took her sleeping pills. She fell asleep in her chair. She dropped a lit cigarette. Her clothing caught fire.
Okay.
And whatever temperature that came at created the perfect state for her body fat to melt and act like candle wax, essentially turning her into a slow-burning human candle. They call this the wick effect.
Okay.
Where the fire can't spread because the fat around it is melting. So it's usually, she may have been wearing something that caught fire quickly, right? Burnt hot enough to melt her and not catch other things on fire.
Wait, are we saying she's fat?
She was not obese, but she was not skinny.
Okay, but wouldn't you think people would have heard something, though, either way?
I mean, I feel like you would still have to scream, even with the sleeping pills. Yeah.
But even if you just spontaneously combust, I feel like you'd
Here's my thing on it, though, is if that's true, it has to be something that
is quick. Yeah, okay.
Because if it's going to burn that hot and fast and not light everything else on fire, it has to be something that's happening fast. So yeah, a lot of people disagree with the wick theory, right?
Okay.
Because for some reason, her skull had shrunk, and usually long, slow heat like that would cause it to expand and crack.
Oh.
Then there's the untouched foot.
Yeah.
Right? Like, why, if she's melting top down, why is the foot okay?
Unless it just went out at that foot, but like.
And even if, and I'm sorry, I debated this next line so many times, but even if Mary had turned into a human Yankee Candle, with the amount of heat she generated, why didn't the rest of the apartment burn down?
Well, right. Because it was spontaneous combustion.
So this starts an entire saga of what had come to be known as the Cinder Lady. And the family has been haunted by the mystery for decades. No one truly knows how or what happened to her. It's the only thing that people could come up with was the spontaneous human combustion. Okay. Now, the FBI did say her official cause of death was accidental ignition.
Okay. Let me ask you, and you might not have went down this rabbit hole. Did the FBI, or was there anything that said that maybe there was somebody else in the apartment at one point or anything like that? The reason I'm asking is because do we actually think that somebody maybe murdered Mary, right? Did we cut her up. We took some of it. We tried to burn the rest to make it look like this. Like, I'm just trying to think outside. Like, did anyone go down that avenue?
They did, and really, because the thing you have to remember is the doorknob was hot. So some fire had happened from the inside. There was some soot on the walls and a burn on the floor. I'm
just thinking, did somebody murder her, took a lot of her with them, and then set the chair and on fire?
How would it still not have burnt down the rest of it? I don't know,
but maybe that's just like something that happened. I'm just thinking.
They did a thorough investigation.
I'm sure FBI could be. There. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so talking about spontaneous human combustion.
Do you have more for us?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
So obviously, the obvious definition is when a human body just bursts into flames without an external ignition source.
Right. Let me just tell you, I ran out of hormone medication, and I feel like I might spontaneously combust. God. So I understand.
You could be in the follow-up episode. Okay. So in cases where this happens, it's very similar. There's a bunch of cases. The body is reduced to ash, nearby objects barely damaged, a greasy, smoky residue and smell left behind, and a lot of time extremities like hands or feet are left intact. Over the last 400
I didn't know
years.
That part.
Yeah. Which kind of makes sense if it's like your core. It's something with the core. Right?
Yeah, but like your hands and your they just pop right off.
They just pop right off.
Do heads pop off?
No, the heads are almost always burnt. Okay. So over 400 years, dating back to 1746, we've had hundreds of cases of this. And there's a lot of weird coincidences between most of the victims. Most are elderly, a little bit obese, or on the larger side, alone, not always though. And many of them are severely inebriated when this happens. So this all kind of gives credence to it could be something with them, falling asleep, lighting themselves on fire accidentally. But it's weird. It's weird.
It's still not right.
Right. A lot of people argue about it, right? Because it's like, it's what happens in the instances and after that makes things like super weird. Let's go back to where the term was coined. And this was in the Victorian era. Of course, everything I've been talking about lately is coming from the Victorians. But it's been studied since then. There was huge studies in 1930 and in the 1980s. So it's like something that's still like researchers are looking into this.
Yeah.
Even though a lot of people say it can't happen. But let's go back. So the earliest recorded case is Countess Cornelia Brandi.
I love the name Cornelia.
I know. She was an Italian, noble. And on March 15th, 1731, just after finishing dinner, she took some of her brandy and rubbed it on achy parts of her body, popular treatment at the time. And then she hosted a 3-hour prayer session with her maid. The maid left her. The maid left her when she fell asleep.
Okay.
So the maid, she goes back to her room, right? She falls asleep as well, wakes up, starts getting everything ready, and the Countess doesn't appear the next morning. So she goes to check on her, and she finds a room mostly undisturbed, though parts of the wall is covered in soot. Nothing was burnt, including the bed. But the body of the Countess on the bed had been reduced to a pile of ash, 2 legs, 3 fingers, and the front of her skull.
2 legs, 3 fingers?
Yeah.
And the front of her skull.
Everything else is ash laying on the bed. Bed was fine.
What are mattresses made out of then?
I have no idea.
Wow.
But I feel like in Victorian times, like everything was flammable.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. It's like, hey.
There's so many more. Okay. 1966, we have Dr. John Bentley, a 92-year-old retired physician from Pennsylvania. He was well known in town, and he'd often get visitors, one of these being the meter reader, who regularly stopped by to visit.
Okay.
To come read.
Yeah, no, I know. It's just funny.
So on December 5th, he enters the home and immediately smells smoke. He follows the smell to the bathroom, and that's where he notices a large hole had burnt through the bathroom floor right in front of the toilet. Inside the hole was a pile of ash and debris. On top of that hole was a very minimally burnt walker that had once belonged to the doctor, and one of his lower legs, wearing, you guessed it, an unburnt slipper.
So he was just taking a shit?
Yeah. So the fire had burnt through the hole into the basement.
That was a hot shit.
Investigators believe the doctor was using the toilet when the fire began. Now, at this time, it was very common before air fresheners to light a match when you were done doing your business. So like Mary's case, it was ruled an accidental ignition with the wick effect, same thing where the body fat acts like wax, keeping the fire from spreading. Here's the fun thing here, though. And this is what you asked about Mary. Everybody noted how thin and frail the 92-year-old doctor was. So there should not have been very much body fat to have acted like a barrier. Rest of the bathroom, totally fine.
Very interesting.
1980. We have one very similar to Mary.
Okay.
Strangely enough, this also happens on December 5th, which is the same day as our last victim.
Oh, wow.
Neighbors noted a strange smell coming from the 73-year-old's home in Abervale, Wales, and they noted it as a greasy, smoky, burning odor. Authorities enter and find a shocking scene and find Mr. Henry Thomas, like Mary, who had been known to sit in his favorite armchair, but instead of the chair and Henry, they find a pile of ash, a piece of skull, and the burnt chair springs where the chair had been. However, his legs and feet are still partially intact. The rest of the home completely untouched.
This is so bizarre.
Like the first one, okay, I can buy the cigarette and the sleeping pills.
For sure.
The third time, it's getting weird. Again, several objects nearby not burnt. Investigators looked for an ignition source. They looked for cigarettes, candles, electrical faults, none that could be identified. So at least in the other two, and even going back to Cornelia rubbing brandy on her body, let's go 3.
Oh, yeah.
There was some sort of external ignition, but with Henry Thomas, there is nothing. His death was listed as death by burning, but they never came to any conclusion on how the fire had started.
I don't even really have anything to add to this story because it's just like, all I can keep saying is it's so bizarre.
It's so bizarre.
How bizarre? How bizarre.
Oh, now you're the one giving everyone the song to be stuck in their head.
Mm-hmm.
The last one is the most recent one I could find.
Okay. That's
2010.
Okay, this is what we want.
Again, for the third time now, this happens in December.
Oh my God, this is still so long ago when you think about it.
I know. This might not be the most recent one. This is the most recently agreed upon one because after 2010 and the advent of the smartphone, everyone argues about everything. Okay.
Facts.
This is Mr. Michael Faraday. He is an Irishman, age 76. Emergency services responded to a fire inside his home that a neighbor had called in from smell.
Okay.
They find his body laying near the fireplace in the living room, severely burned. So he is not a pile of ash. So there is more body than ash this time, but we do see some of the same strangeness.
Okay.
Whatever lit him on fire was extremely limited to just his body. The fire had not spread through the room. Nearby objects were unharmed. Even though he was by a fireplace, there was nothing in the fireplace that would have suggested that a fire had been in there.
Okay.
After examining the evidence, the local coroner, Dr. Kieran McLaughlin, ruled out any accelerants, any electrical causes, and any external ignition sources. Could not find them on the body. In fact, from everything he could tell, the fire started from the inside out.
Interesting.
So this is where he made a decision that shocked people around the world, and Michael became the first person to be officially recorded with the cause of death as spontaneous human combustion.
Okay. Wow.
At least in modern times, this is
the
first formally ruled death this way. It remains honestly one of the most controversial rulings by a coroner in forensic history.
Wow, that's cool though.
Okay. So those are the cases we're going to talk about. What are your thoughts so far?
Well, I want to ask you, do you think this is like scientifical? Like it is just like something inside of you just like spikes and explodes, like spikes temperature wise and explodes? Or do you think it's like paranormal? Which here's the thing. If we were to dissect the word paranormal, it's para is just like, right, anything like opposite or like just not whatever. Yeah. All we're doing is saying that it's just not normal. So when I say paranormal, like, I guess I don't necessarily mean like ghosts and spirits, but like what?
Maybe it would help if we discussed it after my next section. Okay. Which is theories.
Yeah, let's do that.
Cool. So we have the wick effect that we've already talked about. Yes. Body fat equals candle wax, right? So this is external ignition. Yep. The body fat melts, the clothing absorbs the fat, and the person burns slowly like a human candle. Okay. why the room doesn't burn, right? Because this happens really, really slow and it's not hot enough to spread widely. But the problem here is it doesn't explain how most of these bodies just become a pile of ash.
Right.
With cremation level heat.
Right.
Okay, theory 2, this is an older theory, alcohol in the body. Because a lot of these people are heavy drinkers. They have flammable alcohol in their blood. We basically know with modern science now that the body would never reach enough alcohol concentration to ignite. And still, it doesn't say how the ignition happens.
Right.
3, this is another one that I think they tried to go scientific with. And it's been pretty much debunked. I was thinking debugged, and I'm like, that's not the right word. But a buildup of static electricity could cause a spark internally and ignite body gases.
Why? To me, that kind of makes sense.
So I think that was the basis, because then we get into theory 4 that methane and gut gas would explode, kind of like how beached whales do.
Yes.
Now, the problem here is if gases are igniting inside of your body, we would expect a rapid expansion of those gases and see more of a splattering effect. These bodies aren't exploding. They're just turning into flames.
Okay.
So theory 5, paranormal, unknown energy. So and I think this kind of talks about what you were getting into. So some of the suggestions are, one is poltergeist activity. I don't think this is.
No.
Or spirit phenomena. I don't think it is. But somebody said psychic energy, right? The spontaneous human combustion may occur during extreme emotional states, some sort of like Carrie-esque psychic energy.
Yes.
Causes this to happen to the body. So what you were saying about paranormal, I think it could fall under this, right? Because it takes me back to even like if we go, I guess, back up to poltergeist, the modern idea of a poltergeist is it's caused by human living energy, not disembodied energy. So is this some sort of psychic stress reaction? It could be. If I'm going to lean to paranormal, I think I would lean that way, but I don't think that's where I fully lean.
Okay, let me hear where you fully lean.
So I found these 2 theories that are on the science side, still on the strange side. And they get into physics. I don't know them enough to understand them, but I know enough to say, okay, that sounds interesting.
Okay, fair enough.
So one is the subatomic quantum theory. It's a fringe theory that suggests a subatomic pyrotron where a rogue particle strikes a quark, causing an internal chain reaction. This is not very dissimilar from an atom bomb that rips atoms apart. And if we're talking about human biology on a cellular level, I know that on a biological level, right, we are not solid beings. Your atoms are all electrically held together. Is this, and this goes back to the spark thing, is this some sort of weird electrical imbalance that just causes the atoms in your body to have some chemical reaction and just come apart? Look at remember, what is it, phosphorus back from like science class? You literally let that thing touch air and it destroys everything around it. It could be biologically possible to unravel atoms, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just think it's so many different, like, even when you're talking about like the static electricity, like, when you're in a sleeping bag and you're in there and you could see the sparks start. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like to me, it's just like, why couldn't that something happen internally? Like our bodies are so effing nuts.
And atoms are held together by electric charges, positive and negative charges.
Right. And think of like all of our health conditions that we have and we can get. And like, sometimes we don't even know why you can get the things that you get, right? Like even with me, with my endometriosis, no one knows where it came from, how to get rid of it. Like there's so many different things. So it's like
that we just don't know.
Right. Why couldn't you just internally start cooking?
Now, and that gets into the last kind of scientific-y weird one.
Okay.
That's like, it's called quasi-plasma theory.
Oh.
Basically, this is ball lightning inside of you. So a speculative theory suggests that out-of-balance energy in the abdomen forms as a plasma-like ball that can cause the torso to incinerate while leaving the extremities intact.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
So now that we've gone through the theories, is that kind of the one that you lean to? Because that's the one I think I lean to.
I mean, 100%. I mean, I guess I don't. Okay, yes, I lean more towards that. But I'm just saying, even if it's not that, it's something chemical in our bodies. And think about all the things that we put into our bodies that we know aren't good for us, right? Like there's a warning label on every medication that I have to take, right? There's a warning of this, this, and this. There's also warnings that we don't know. The things that we eat, the things that we like it's just so much shit that we put inside of us. How can we not say that we can't just like combust?
And I know there's a lot of similarities, right? There are older, larger people who have, substance problems, but in the hundreds of cases, there's a lot of people who aren't. I think the thing here is as you get older, I think it's easier to succumb to medical issues. And maybe this is something that just happens with age. Maybe that's the grand factor here.
Well, I agree to that, but also think about it this way. Let's just say it is a medication or a food, right, that you're taking. Obviously, the older you are, you've probably taken it or ate it or whatever longer. So it really could be just like a longevity thing, or it could be just your age.
Like,
do you know what I mean?
I was thinking it could be so many times during this, going back to like college chemistry, where there are reactions that happen so quick that literally melt metal, leave things around it untouched, leave a smoky residue, and it's just over in seconds.
Well, for sure. But yeah, I agree with that. But also like even, I was just talking to my mom about this. It's said that you should really like, even for your dogs, like any animals, you shouldn't keep them on the exact same food regimen for really over a year. Because you just never really know what's in that kibble, that shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just never know. And if something did go wrong with it, like you're feeding it to your animal for a long time. So you might as well, like every 6 months to a year, change that food supply. Because obviously, let's get real, we eat so many different stuff. Like, we don't have to live like that. But like for a pet. So it's like the same thing though. Like, let's just say Mary was eating the same damn potatoes from Potato Joe down the street for 40 years. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and they were contaminated with something or whatever.
Or chemical. Like, we just don't know. Like, it could be that, or it could just be like you said, you're older, you're susceptible for different things. I totally have always believed in spontaneous combustion. Like, I just like, there's what? Like, why
there's
not?
There's so many
things that our body fucking does. Look at what cancer does to us.
Yeah. We just don't understand. We don't understand things that happen to thousands and millions of people. We're not going to understand something that happens to such a small portion of the population.
Exactly.
So that for you is the story of spontaneous human combustion. Here's my ask. Here's my ask of all the listeners. If you have any passed down tales of this in your family, or any,
that's a good one.
Lore ones of this, I want to hear those stories.
If you have combusted.
If you have combusted, write in and tell us.
Please let us know. No, that's a good ask. What
the emoji for this episode? It's the flame. It has to be.
Oh yeah, flame or a bomb,
hands down. That and a slipper, flame and a slipper, because the slipper is always left behind.
That's so funny.
All right.
Love it.
What else do you have for us before we close the shop up for the day?
Nothing. I'm just like, this is crazy. I don't know why I'm so giddy about this. It's not a good thing to be giddy about.
This one, but it was an interesting one. It was a fun one to write and research. I did not want to write last night. You knew that, and I still busted this out like an hour and a half.
No, I love it. This was a fun one. Like you said, it's not fun in the way it is fun. You all know you're oddballs. You get it. Why am I explaining myself?
For Patreon oddballs, come on over.
Ooh,
I've got maybe a story from Reddit of somebody who claims their grandmother spontaneously combusted.
Got combusted by a
unknown source. That's the whole thing. Okay, so we're going to go over and do that. What else do these oddballs need to do before we close the shop?
I have to get this out of my brain. The whole time you were talking about Mary, I was just thinking how Mary is not quite contrary.
No,
anyway,
she's quite ashy.
The most important thing you could do for us is to keep it real, my little oddballs.
Goodbye.
Bye.